podcast. Stop it with Zach Peterson. I'm Zach Peterson. Thank you so much for watching us. Listen to us, whatever you're doing. This is a random interview podcast. So if you have questions to submit, go to stopitpod.com and submit it. Also, rate, review, and subscribe, and all the stuff you're supposed to do with podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. This week, I have an old friend, a musician, Craig Langan.
Hello.
Tell them who you are and why they should care that you're here.
Oh, I don't know. My name's Craig Fort. I play in a couple bands. This one band, Leaf Blower. It's a nice heavy band, kind of more of a stoner rock band. We've got an 8-song album at the plant getting pressed right now, and so that's going to be coming out soon on Max Trax Records.
Heck yeah.
And then I switched sides, and I also have a country project called Lightning Stills, and we've got a record getting mixed right now that will be out hopefully later this year.
Do you have titles for the records?
Leaf Blower is Burn Cruise, and Lightning Stills is self-titled.
Nice. And if you haven't seen Leaf Blower, and I suggest you should, if you ever can, it's one of those cool stage shows where there's matching.
A lot of theatrics.
Yeah. I mean, there's a man. Well, not a man. There's a mannequin.
Tim.
with a leaf blower that doubles as a fog machine.
It's the fog shoots out of the leaf blower. Yeah.
It's rad. Yeah.
And then we've got the strobe lights hooked up to a pedal board, and we've got masks that we wear.
Right. And also, that can be also seen in the what do you call it? In the Instagram.
Yes.
And the social media.
Leaf Blower Music is on Instagram, and Lightning Stills is on Instagram. Both of them are on Facebook as well.
Yeah, where can people, so they can follow you there. Is there a place where people can see your music, GarageBand or?
We have a lot of live stuff on YouTube on the Max Trax page, and then we also have Bandcamp releases.
Nice.
And then all of our releases for each band are all on Bandcamp and then on Spotify and all the other streaming services.
And that's what I meant when I said GarageBand. I meant Bandcamp.
Bandcamp?
Yeah, because GarageBand's the thing you mix stuff with.
Right.
Yeah.
I never learned how to use that.
That's the only thing I know how to do.
Really?
Is that one, yeah.
Good for you.
Well, that's how I could do. I used to do my own podcast.
Oh.
And now Jocelyn does all the work. Yeah, producer Jocelyn. So, awesome. Anything else before we get started?
Oh, boy. Probably, but no.
All right. Well, if you think about it at the end, I'll give you another opportunity. I think 2 minutes may be a little bit too long because I was like, I'm going to make people like do it real quick in 2 minutes. And everyone's just like, here's my stuff. And I'm like, okay. Well, I thought I was putting people under pressure, and no one's under pressure. So.
Well, I mean, you and I could spin yarns about all kinds of tales from the past.
That's right. I don't know if I'm sure there'd be a handful of folks that'd be into it, but I think a lot of people would be like,
just best left unsaid.
Well, let's get started with the questions, and who knows what may arise with these questions, because the bucket comes up with a hell of a questions. We have over 600 questions.
Is that a popcorn bucket?
Yeah.
A little tin?
This was a popcorn bucket. Can you imagine how many flavors of popcorn you can fit in here?
Looks like 3.
3. It was 3. That's right. Cheddar, butter, caramel. And normally, I've never been able to finish one. I've tried. Usually the popcorn gets bad before I finish it.
I usually just finish like one of them, and the other 2 go to waste.
Right. I wish they had a bucket.
Or I give them to someone.
Right. I wish they had a bucket with just one popcorn.
Like I bet they do.
This is a caramel bucket.
When I was in Boy Scouts, we sold ones that were like that.
Well, the good old days.
Chocolate caramel crunch.
Oh, always be prepared for Craig to come over with some popcorn.
That's right. I was an Eagle Scout. I sold a ton of popcorn.
Yeah. I mean, they teach you a lot of skills in Eagle Scouts. Starting a fire, fishing.
Knots.
How to sell popcorn.
How to sell popcorn door to door by yourself.
When
you're 12 years old.
Right. There's Girl Scouts that come to my door still. Like,
really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, Like I understand, like I used to do the exact same thing in the '90s, but like it feels
different now.
It does.
Like you need to have the parent like on the sidewalk, standing 10 feet back.
I think they usually are, but usually when there's a child at the door, I have my wife deal with it.
Sure.
So I'm like, this is, she's the PR.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, she's the PR for the people in the neighborhood. She's the much better face and friendlier person than me. It's like I run things behind the scenes, but she's the public facing. I don't know. I wouldn't say I run things. Let's, I have a say in behind the scenes. All right, let's get to this question.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song? And if so, why do you feel bad about it?
I've got so many guilty pleasure songs. I don't know. The first one that comes to mind is How Bizarre, but I don't really feel that bad about it.
Yeah.
Probably one of my biggest guilty pleasure songs is Still My Sunshine by Len. That song just really gets me going.
Right. You know what? I think that's a cool song because it's so different.
That's a brother and sister duo too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, from Canada.
Well, those Canadian siblings strike again.
Knuckleheads.
Do you why do you like you don't feel bad about either of those? Are there some guilty pleasure songs that you do feel bad about?
Geez, I don't know. I'm really not sure. Those two songs are the only ones that come to my head right now.
Well, you don't have to. The answer can be no to any one of my questions.
I really enjoy music in all forms.
Right. I think Len's a good one, and How Bizarre is surprising though.
You didn't expect me to pull OMC out?
No, I think that's bizarre. It's very bizarre. It's How Bizarre, if you will. All right, stop it. We'll go to the next one. But that's not. I don't know if I have any like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about you?
What about me?
Put you on the spot.
I'm sure there's a few. I like the new pop music, the female pop music ladies like Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter, the wife plays that stuff, and I'm like, this ain't too shabby. I actually like it.
Fair enough.
It's not my cup of tea. I'm not a pop music person.
I'm not really up to date past 2000 on music.
Oh,
really?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not either, but it's in the house.
Yeah.
But in that Pink Pony Club song, that hits. That's a good song.
Does.
Yeah. Well, and then like that Chaperone human, that they are like 80s inspired. So it's very like, like a Prayer Madonna stuff.
Midwest as well.
That's right. Midwest Princess. Mm-hmm. All right. I think I've shown that I know more than I look like I should.
I know a little bit as well.
Awesome. Collectively, we may have the the knowledge as a one.
That is one pop star that I have done a little research on.
Right. Yeah. Well, they came through, and the whole town was flooded with people from around the country.
It just came out of nowhere.
Right. I didn't know that. Like, yeah, I didn't know much about it. All right, moving on. Okay. Well, this is a basic ethical question.
Uh-oh.
Are human beings born evil or good?
I think good.
Yeah.
I think we're taught to be evil.
Yeah.
Learned behaviors.
That's right.
That's what I think.
I can get you behind on that. So people are normally good. I mean, you have children. I mean, children, are they usually...
A lot.
Are they kind off the bat, or are they mean off the bat?
Oh no, they're great. All my kids are great. I think that it's just they come out, like a little ball clay, and it's just gonna however you form them is how they're gonna be.
Right, and that goes back to the David episode last week where we talked about, like is it nature or nurture? And
I wasn't here for that.
That's right. That's right. Hopefully, listeners will be, or they do more than one episode. But I think I think that's reasonable. And like, because I think there's some religions that say humans are born evil and they must be changed in some way to be seen as good. And I don't think that's true.
Kind of a pessimistic way to look at things.
I concur. I don't know. But there's no real way of judging it because there's no barometer of being like, okay, like there's no like score, you know?
Well, I'm reminded of that Combat Wounded Veteran song.
Yeah.
Remember where the baby was born and then it killed the mom and
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, there could
then
be like
it came
some.
to finish me with a knife in his hand and murdered his eyes.
Yeah. I have that record.
That baby was born evil.
that one baby from that one grindcore record.
Slipped through.
Yeah, the baby from I Know a Girl Who Develops Crime Scene Photos and Damien. And those are the two bad babies.
Yep, from Florida.
That's right. Yeah. So,
The Wang of America.
what are they in now? What's that band into now?
They did Holy Mountain and came and played at Fort House a couple times.
Did they?
I'm not sure much after that. Hell of a guy. Are all great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
real nice.
I still love the artwork. The artwork is like
yeah.
some of the like Duck Down for Torso. That I mean this conversation is going to appeal to 12 people
I know,
nationally.
I was going to say, no one's going to know what the hell we're talking about.
Hey, does anyone here remember that 10-inch record that 1,000 were pressed on? And it was cool to 10 people in Omaha? Well, here's a conversation about it. So
I hope those guys are listening.
yeah. Well, they got Google alerts. we talk about their band, so they'll know. What is something you have to do to make your day feel right?
Probably, I don't know. Lately, this sounds really weird. I've been playing music for 20 years, and just recently I decided to start practicing every day.
Right.
And that feels like a right thing to do.
right.
And I've actually seen progress and by practicing every day. So I'm like, hey, maybe I should keep doing this.
Right.
This
yeah.
isn't so bad.
After 20 years of being in bands,
I
and
finally
toured,
figured it out. I cracked the code.
it's like I'm gonna try it. This whole guitar
Well,
thing.
it works. I mean, it's not there yet, but it's getting there.
Right. Hell yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think mine is a nasal rinse. You ever do that? You ever do
I mean, I have, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I have to. My ears ring because of allergies.
I have allergies.
Yeah, but mine like I have to regulate the liquid in my ears every day, or else I'm in a real stinky mood.
I got to take loratadine every day.
Relatogene?
Loratadine.
I don't know that one.
It's Claritin.
Okay, it's this, yeah, it's the Claritin. It's the chemical from Claritin.
Yeah, it's the grocery store Claritin. Or Amazon or whatever.
Yeah,
I buy it at that time.
Usually
not Claritin because it's really expensive.
it is. No, I got to take Zyrtec.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I got to take Zyrtec, and then I got to take Singulair, which is a prescription. I got too much goop in my head. That's what the doctor
That's
said.
fucked up.
Yeah, I know.
Too bad. I feel your pain, man. I
I
know
know.
what that's like.
Well, have you ever seen Ghostbusters too?
I feel like I know where this is going. Yeah.
Like, you remember the Statue of Liberty where they have goop
I
all
know.
over?
That's-
I'm like the
that's
Statue of
where I
Liberty.
thought it was going.
Yeah. So every time you see Statue of Liberty, think of me. Right?
It's going to be you with Jackie Wilson playing and...
Yeah.
Okay. That song, it's really going to get you going.
That song rules.
It is a good song.
What is that song?
Your love
Taking me higher
and I've ever
than before. Yeah, and then yeah,
my desire.
and then the friggin' toaster jumps.
Your love. Yep.
I don't think enough people have seen that, and that makes me feel
You
old.
don't think enough people have seen Ghostbusters 2?
The younger people, because I'm doing comedy all over these United States, right? And I'll make references, and everyone's just like, they look at me like I'm stupid. Like I tried to work. I was trying to do a joke about Rob Zombie, and no one knew who Rob Zombie was.
bet it was a great joke.
I mean, yeah, I know. How is it not? It's about Robert
I would
A.
love
Zombie.
Rob Zombie jokes.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, I can't remember it, but it was good. I was very happy with it. I was like, I love talking about Rob Zombie, but no one wants to hear that crap from me anymore.
The nice thing about Rob Zombie is every time he comes to town, his ticket sales are always so low that the day of the show you can go see him for $5.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Maybe that sure shows that no one knows who he is anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
But
or maybe they should just book him at smaller clubs.
right.
Maybe Baxter Arena isn't the best place for him.
It's like, yeah, after a while, it's like, you buy one ticket, he will drive you in his Dragula.
That's a guilty pleasure song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I never got
I
it.
love that song.
Yeah.
I really do.
How about More Human Than Human?
Yeah, of course. I love White Zombie.
All right. I've never.
White Zombie was great. Rob Zombie was good. It was really cheesy, but Dragula, that's a guilty pleasure.
Right.
That's
Well,
definitely a guilty pleasure.
he has a Halloween store in Los Angeles. I'd go just to hang out.
I guess. I know you live there, but I didn't care for LA too much when I was there.
I didn't care for it when I lived there.
I liked San Francisco a lot when I went to see Scott and I helped him move there, but it's expensive.
It really is. Yeah. Well, our buddy Nick Bohawk, artist,
He's still there.
visual artist. Yeah, he's in a rent control apartment that would be like 10 times as much as it would be now, right on Golden Gate Park. Just phenomenal.
Good for him.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
I've been to his place, actually.
It's nice.
It is, yeah.
I stayed there for like a week, and then me and my friend Kevin got kicked out of a magic shop.
Like The Gathering?
No, like the magic tricks.
Oh.
They didn't like us. Like
Like Dan Aykroyd's shop in Ghostbusters?
No, like that's like real. That's the occult, which is like this for magic tricks, right? And we were asking too many questions about the magic tricks, and they kicked us out.
Well, that's because they can't give out their secrets.
Well, that's what we said. We was like, but we were undecided whether or not we wanted to get into magic. We wanted to know more, and they're like, no, you can't do it. This is for actual magicians now. And it's like, well, then you're never going to grow your store.
You have to pay $5 to get the license to become an actual magician.
Yeah, I think magicians should be licensed.
Certified.
I think that's a good idea. They should take a
training course.
there should be like a test. Like, they should,
Like a bar exam.
yeah, yeah. But the first question is this your card? That'd be fun. I think. What's another one? Oh, okay. Well, I think I got the best out of that I can get.
Fair enough.
All right. Now, completely changing course, and who knows where. Do you think the unconscious shapes our actions and our beliefs?
Excuse me?
Do you think our unconscious shapes our actions and beliefs? Do you think there's like a secret part of our mind that controls who we are?
Yeah, I'm impulsive as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no control over what I do, so there's something up there that's just pushing me in.
Right. Right. There's a psychiatrist who thinks that's the unconscious is the key, right? The unlocking everything about our behavior. I mean, the most of the early people like Freud, Jung thought that, you know.
I'm definitely very stress driven in a lot of different ways, and ways that I handle, and I feel like that comes from the unconscious.
I get that. Yeah.
Because I'll like start doing something and not realize I'm doing it, but it's something to soothe my anxiety.
Yeah. 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 For like people to understand that part of them, what I was told, you have to do a thing called shadow work, because there's a part of you that is a shadow of the self that you show, and you have to work with that. Yeah, doing this.
Shadow puppets?
Yeah. What's the best shadow puppet you can do?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long. I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Were you used to be master of the shadow puppets?
No, never. I would never claim that. I mean, that's a pretty bold title.
Yeah. Master of Shadow Puppets. Yeah. All right. Would anyone say that about you?
No.
All right.
I don't think anyone would ever say that about me.
I would. I'll say it about you right now.
That's a nice
I don't,
thing to say, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah. I have no commitment to the truth.
Remember how we went to the Spam Museum?
Yeah, in Austin, Minnesota.
Yeah, we just got up one day and started driving, and someone's like, "You should go to the Spam Museum on your way to Milwaukee," and we said, "Sure."
And we did.
And we put on lab coats, and
I still have that picture.
we did that quiz game, and yeah, I got that picture too.
Just hung out at the Spam Museum for a day.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
That was a fun little jaunt we went on.
That was the boob store.
Yeah.
Buds out on Bodacious Safari.
Yeah. It was a good time. We went Sioux Falls, Austin, Minnesota, Milwaukee, and St. Louis.
Wherever the place where the Hormel Museum's at.
That's Austin, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an hour away from Minneapolis. I pass by it often, and only good memories.
Milwaukee was a good time. And then, did we go to St. Louis after that?
I think so, because I remember like hanging out with those guys.
That was kind of the whole area around back then. Like St. Louis, Milwaukee used to come to Fort House all the time, and Sioux Falls used to come to Fort House all the time, and we used to go up there. And New Year's Eve was always a good time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Fort House was an old. For those who don't know, it was an old house venue where we used to have punk rock shows and parties.
And parties.
That was our 20s.
And shenanigans.
A whole heck of a lot of shenanigans. Some ballyhoo, if some would say.
Lots of roof sitting.
That's right. Someone fell off the roof that one party.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Hell yeah.
Right in front of me. I was sitting there talking to someone on the couch that was on the porch.
Yeah.
Right in front of me.
That's right.
And I just kept talking.
Yeah, they were all right. They were fine. The only thing hurt was their pride.
Right.
Which is fine. What do you think most people's lives are lacking?
I think most people are too serious.
Right.
I think most people need to loosen up a little bit and, I don't know, get a little goofy. Lacking goofiness.
Yeah, more goofiness.
More goofiness in 2025. That's what I want.
Yeah. Make America goofy again.
Please.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what's definitely. I watch the news. I'm like, not goofy enough.
No. I just say, what the fuck?
I thought this was
I
going to
mean,
be
this is pretty goofy, but
yeah.
this isn't my kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Like, this is the good kind of goofy.
I'm looking for a
This
wistful
is just
goofy.
wacko goofy.
Wacko Goofy. I'd love to see that Disney movie. Wacko Goofy. Goofy's all whacked.
That'd be a tough one.
Oh, this one's good for you.
Uh-oh.
This one's good because I know that there's bountiful answers. Have you ever had a nickname?
My name is Craig Fort. I was also called the Rat when I was younger, and I was a BMX star when I won the amateur gravity games. Let's see what else. My AOL instant messenger name was Craig Rock, and I hate Phil Collins was my other one. I don't know. I just really didn't care for him. I was a Peter Gabriel guy. I still don't really care for him.
Right.
But Craig Fort, Craig Lang is my real name. Craig Fort after Fort House. That one stuck on. And the Rat was from my younger days.
BMX. I didn't know that you were. I knew that you were into BMX. I didn't know you had a big win.
I won the amateur gravity games in Boulder, Colorado, and I got a ride with Van Holman and Brian Wismerski and Brian Foster and Matt Beringer, and we got to do some street riding together. I got sponsored by Airwalk for a year. They gave me a pair of shoes every month.
Whoa.
I just gave them away to my friends.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, and then there was a couple other contests that I won too. Every contest that I was in, I won.
Yeah.
But I was like 6 of them maybe.
What was your event?
I just I had more of a street style, and so I would take my street style and do that on ramps, and it would be different from all the typical ramp stuff that everyone was doing.
Okay. That's cool. That's rad. Yeah. But yeah, see, I know you as Fort. I've always known you as Fort or Craig Fort. And yeah, because a lot of people have shortened it to just the Fort.
40, Fortress.
Anything else?
Probably. Fortitude.
Fortitude? Yeah. Stop it. Moving on. Next question. Ever had a bad neighbor?
I like to consider myself a pretty friendly guy.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. That and Shadow Puppet Master.
I don't think that's really nice of you to say, but I'm still gonna disagree with you on that. But I don't think that I've had bad neighbors because I can't really complain.
Okay.
After Fort House because we were bad neighbors.
Yeah.
We
that'd
were
be true.
horrible neighbors.
Yeah.
And every one of our neighbors loved us.
Huh.
Every time we'd apologize, we'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we were doing naked slip and slides at 4 a.m, like and beer bonging on the roof and this and that." And they're like, "Oh no, you guys, you're kids. We were young too. We understand it. It's fine."
Right. Like playing shows into the wee hours.
Yeah, like that midnight show that not Ampere, but guys from Page 99, I feel like.
Majority Rule?
No. Anyway, we had a midnight show. We had a lot of late shows.
Yeah.
That were really loud.
Yeah. Is there a memorable show from that time? Because I remember Dan Deacon, who
Dan Deacon
is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then I rode in the car. We gave Dan Deacon a ride to Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
And dropped him off at the bus stop because I was riding with my friends to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So he rode with us up there. But there wasn't that many people there. That was kind of the thing at Fort House. Bands like Mika Miko and Dan and a couple other projects came through, and there was just no one there, unfortunately.
Right.
Whether it was because of nights or weather
or just not having the draw or
Right.
not promoted or just whatever. There's a million different things.
Shit happens.
Right. Is there shows that stick out, bands that stick out?
All the dentist shows we played always were really fun down there.
The dentist shows?
The dentist, yes, I love the dentist shows we played. Dead Tooth.
Oh, Dead Tooth, yeah.
Opposite of
yeah.
dentist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if no one knows, but we were in a band called Dead Tooth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those shows were always really fun together.
That was a lot
the
of fun.
Cotton the Fall shows were always really fun.
Right.
The Robots Don't Cry shows were always really fun.
Yeah.
The Backwind shows,
Yeah.
Just any of the shows, there was some amazing bands that came through Fort House, but I think some of my favorite shows were just the ones where it was all of our friends in the basement, screaming together, hugging each other.
Right. When I think about that time in my life and those shows, it was always about the local bands, just seeing friends and having a good time,
Supporting each other. And
Right.
just good community.
And when I think about it, those shows were for us. If you were if you're some random person, you saw a band that you wanted to see and it was just at some house, would you go?
Not anymore.
Right? Yeah. We did back in the day.
Yeah,
it was
back in the day, we used to all the time, or
Right.
go to Lincoln, or go on tour and play house shows all the
Yeah.
time. And then sleep on people's floors and couches and
Yeah.
everything. But
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a lot different back then. But then I feel like that's a young person's game.
It really is.
Because as I got to the bar age and older, I feel like the house shows that I would play, I just kind of seemed like the old guy there, and it was really
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and all I wanted to do was get to the bar.
Yeah. No, I totally know. Because it's a more structured environment. Because going to shows like that, you would see and go through some random ass crap, fights and who knows what. Because it was a party atmosphere, and drugs and alcohol were involved, and that leads to a bad situation a lot of the time.
Yeah, there was that incident at Fort where someone busted in on someone in the bathroom, and they weren't too happy about it, and they got in their car and played pinball all the way up and down the street.
I remember that. That was a Halloween party.
And yeah, it was a Halloween party. I think that's the party that you came dressed as the guy who thought it was a Christmas party.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, she just kind of and then crashed her car into the pole, and it wasn't too good.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on. I don't know where that started from.
Weird shit happens.
Yeah, that's right. That's a bad. That's one of those ones that's trying to be funny, and I don't think it's funny anymore. You ever do that?
Yep, all the time.
What do you think other people like about you?
I think that I'm a kind soul,
Right.
and I think that I'm creative and fun, and that makes it a nice atmosphere to be around.
I can concur with that. You're very kind. You're very, very charismatic. Also,
I feel like I'm outgoing.
yeah, you're great with shadow puppets.
That's what I've heard.
That's what you've heard. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Not the word on the street.
You wanna do some shadow puppets now?
With the green screen?
Yeah. I mean, we can sort some. I gotta. No. I guess we don't have a way to do shadow puppets now.
Yeah.
We Jocelyn, can we get a shadow puppet stage set up in the back
You
here?
know, we would have to like Google. It's been so long since I've done it. I would have to
Yeah.
figure out what I wanted to do, like the dog. Because that's kind of about all I got.
That's a classic though.
Yeah.
That's like the is this your card? Oh yeah. The Wu-Tang symbol.
Yes, the Wu-Tang symbol flying away.
The classic Wu-Tang symbol shadow puppet. Mm-hmm.
For the kids.
You ever find something strange in the woods?
Yeah.
The quickness in which you answered to that makes me really want to know what you found in the woods.
Think of which one.
Tell them all. We got time.
Well, there was a time in my high school years during the summer where we got all dressed up in camo gear and we went naked guy hunting through the woods for this guy that lived in a van and would just go to the river and bathe naked, like sunbathe naked.
Yeah.
He'd just lay there on the river and then he'd go hang out in his van. And so we just went hunting for him one day. We got all dressed up in camo and
Yeah.
went looking around for him and we found him.
What'd you do when you found him? You just went, there he is.
I said, look at the naked guy. And he got up and he took off.
All right.
He didn't want to have anything to do with us.
Right. You just ruined his nice little day at the beach.
Well, I'm sorry. I just don't know.
No, I mean, if he's going to be in a public river, then, put
That's
on a
what
towel.
I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't do what he's doing. I'm just saying don't get mad if I'm walking by.
Right. And that's the thing. If you're known as the naked guy,
Right. The naked
people
guy
have
that lives
seen
in
you.
the van by the river. And
Yeah.
this was before the Chris Farley sketch.
Yeah.
This was like literally living in a van down by the river.
Yeah. And if people in high school, if the high school kids know about naked guy, that's probably not a good thing on your behalf. You know what I mean? You've probably made some mistakes there.
Times have changed.
Yeah, the naked guy in
I don't
the
think
river.
that would work out anymore, especially kids going like the whole. like Stand By Me type thing.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, where are you going? There's a naked guy by the river. We're going to check him
We're
out.
going naked guy hunting.
But you found a naked guy in the anything else?
Well, we found his van, and that was disturbing.
I bet. I mean, maybe this guy is just like, a little bit of a nudist, can really get into a colony. Maybe didn't have the grades.
He was just kind of like forced out of the community.
He's an outcast from the nudist colony. He's like the early colonists. Yeah.
For being a nudist.
In a nudist colony?
Just wanted to, wanted to have freedom of expression.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's too naked.
Yeah.
Get him out of this nudist colony.
Cover that up. Put that thing away.
I mean, I think that's that a naked guy is literally one of the best and worst things you can find in the woods. I mean, if you weren't anticipating.
Luckily, it was a different time. But
I mean, I can't imagine a time where I'd be thrilled about it.
I mean,
unless you're looking for him.
Intrigued. I don't know that thrilled is the word, but I was like, whoa, here he is.
Yeah, I suppose
because we had heard like rumors of him, and then we found him.
Yeah. I suppose that's the best case scenario with a naked man is that you're trying to find him, because if you found him any other time, that'd be a bad situation.
Just stumbled across.
Yeah, because
that was our plan. We woke up and said, "Let's go find this fellow." He's got no clothes.
Yeah,
down by the river.
Yeah. I mean, it's also really nice to set a goal and achieve that goal.
We did it. We really did it.
Yeah, that's the best thing. I could have hoped for a better answer to that question. Oh, this is a music question for you. What is the best decade for music?
I don't know. That's for what? What kind? For country? For classic rock? For
what do you
heavy metal? For thrash metal?
What do you gravitate towards?
I gravitate towards 80s and 90s thrash metal and 70s and 80s and 90s country and 60s and 70s classic rock.
Okay.
Those are my kind of go-tos, I guess.
You know, I'm hearing a lot of 70s and all those answers.
Yeah, for sure. 60s and 70s definitely are huge decades for music.
Right. I mean, I think that the 70s like really shaped almost everything we listen to now.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's where hip hop came. That's where hip hop started from disco. That's where metal started.
Sabbath came out.
Yeah, that's where punk started. That's where all that stuff started. That's sort of where everything that came from that is now what's big today.
Getting Zeppelin going. Yep. I think that 70s were probably where it was at, and then the 80s. They kind of fucked up, but there was some good stuff that came out of the 80s.
Devo
was good, yeah.
Devo rules.
But there was, I mean, like, all the thrash metal that came out, like, around then,
right?
I'm a big fan of, especially, like, the big four.
Yeah. If those who don't know, big four, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer?
Metallica's the only one that I haven't seen.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to get second mortgage on my house if they come through.
Right.
I got to see them. I got to finish off the big four.
Right.
But I saw Slayer with Hanneman and Lombardo, and that was awesome.
Nice. I remember that show. I remember trying to go to that show. Or couldn't go to that show or something.
Yeah.
It was at West Fair.
No, it was in Kansas City or Lawrence. It was one of the two. But I rode down with a couple of our buddies, and Hatebreed opened up for them, and Arch Enemy.
Nice.
And then this other band called Hemlock.
All right. Sounds like a pretty good tour.
It was Jägermeister.
Yeah. They sponsored the tour. They have taste.
Yeah. That was Hanneman's thing, I think.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think he was a big Jägermeister fan, or he was sponsored. He was the one out of the band sponsored by it, or maybe the whole band was. I don't know.
Huh. It'd be nice to get a sponsor.
I love Bud Zero.
Name. Okay, we got a good question. How are we on time, Jocelyn? Oh, okay. Yeah, because okay, but we have one last question, and this is a very good question, and I think you'll appreciate it. Name 3 ways Gremlins 2 is a misunderstood masterpiece.
It's way better than the first one. The first one is more of a horror film. I feel like it's more towards the scary side, and the second one is just balls to the wall action, nonstop thriller.
That's right.
It's just good times.
Right.
It's just a good time in a movie, and it's great. Like I'm fine with the first one. I think it needed to be made, and it has its place.
Right.
But the second one is infinitely better.
I agree. I think that you take the idea of Gremlins, and the first one you establish the idea of Gremlins. The second one you heighten the idea of Gremlins. And there's the famous Key and Peele sketch about all the different Gremlins. But what if a Gremlin was a salad, or what if a Gremlin was a bat?
I think I missed that one.
You missed that one?
There was a bat one.
I know. That's the whole thing.
I guess I should have seen this sketch. You didn't tell me I had to do homework.
Well, I didn't know you were going to do this question.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah, Gremlins 2 it breaks the fourth wall. There's this absurd celebrity cameos. It doesn't give a hell. It doesn't give a shoot about. I'm trying to swear. A heck. Thank you. It doesn't give a heck about what you expected about this movie. It's going to be Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Hulk Hogan is in there.
Yeah.
Telling you to shut the fuck up, sit down, and watch this Gremlins movie.
Yeah. It's the only movie that Leonard Maltin has ever been in. Famous film critic.
Really?
The only movie he's ever appeared in was Gremlins 2, talking about how bad Gremlins was.
Lenny?
What?
Lenny said that? He was...
Yeah, Lenny Maltin.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you.
So if someone hasn't seen Gremlins 2, make a pitch for it.
Oh, boy. Well, it's kind of like Jurassic Park, where it's like, why do you keep going back? Like, how come these things keep happening? But they get kind of wet again, and all hell breaks loose inside this building, and they shut down the whole building, and they've got the whole place on lockdown. And
It's like Die Hard.
it is. That's one I haven't seen that much of. I've seen parts of it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, if I had to choose which one...
Again, if you could have told me.
If I was to choose which movie you should have seen, I would have chose Gremlins 2 over Die Hard.
Well, I've seen it plenty of times. Thank you.
Craig, thank you so much for joining us. How
Thank
can
you
people...
for having me on.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I love seeing you.
You as well, buddy. How can people check out your bands? Again, some social media, and here Lightning Stills and Leaf Blower.
Lightning Stills and Leaf Blower are both on Bandcamp, and they're both on Spotify and Apple and all streaming services. And we each have an album coming out, 8 songs for Leaf Blower and 10 songs for Lightning Stills on Max Trex Records, coming out shortly later this year, and on vinyl and all streaming services as well. And you can find other information at maxtraxrecords.com.
Excellent.
And Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, just search it. You're an adult.
Yeah. Give us a follow.
Give them a follow.
We'll follow you back.
Oh, sure will.
We'll answer your questions if you send us. It always bums me out when I send a band a question
Right.
and they don't reply to me. Then I get like this fight with them in my head, and I have this, and it's just like I can't stand those people anymore.
Right. It makes sense if like it's a Phil Collins or someone, because you're not actually talking to Phil Collins. But if it's like a band that you've met, or like
Or
there's
like you just went and saw them, and then you're like, "Hey, that was a pretty good show. I can
Right.
relate to you on this," and then they just leave you on red.
yeah, if you're carrying your own gear, then you should return your emails.
God damn it, right?
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for listening. Also, if you want me to ask any of the questions that you have for any of the future guests, go to stopitpod.com, and there's a form on there for you to submit questions. So go ahead and do that. Please rate, review, and subscribe. You have been listening to Stop It with Zach Peterson, and now you should stop it.